Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you my planner / notebook lineup for 2023. There's a stack of things that I'm using. Some of them are for creative projects, some of them are for content keeping, some of them are work planners and whatnot, and I thought I would just give you a brief overview of what I've got. So I'm going to quickly show you the front of all of these, but I'm also going to do a top-down video as well so that you can see them in more depth. Most of you know that I keep a book journal. I'll be using my iPad for that. It's a digital book journal, so that is definitely top of the lineup list. I also have two content planners this year, one for Novelty Corner and one for Little Bookish Teacher, my two channels. I was going to keep them all in the same one, but I also wanted to separate them out just because it was getting a little bit hard to keep track of what was going where, because some content videos have the same video release date. So two planners, also just another excuse to have more Ray Dunn planners. Speaking of Ray Dunn planners, I also picked up this one, which is more like a standard weekly planner. I'm actually using this for a creative project. Auslit teacher, or Narissa Long, who is an Australian educational consultant, has challenged people to write a haiku every day, and she suggested using like a weekly planner to do that. So I found this one at TK Maxx. It's very pretty, it was fairly cheap, and it just allowed me to buy another Ray Dunn planner because I've been looking at these for ages. I had absolutely no reason to need one, but now I have a reason. And also I just love the message. I also have this sort of weekly notepad thing, which I'm thinking I'm just going to use and leave on my kitchen table so I can make notes on it and use it as I need to. And then we have this thing, which is now my work planner. I was going to use my Kiki K A5 ring bound planner, but I ended up picking up a Hobonichi cousin, and I have a case for it and everything, so I'll unwrap all of this and show you it when I do the face down video. All right, so you guys have seen my digital book journal, which is what we're going to start off with. Okay, so I have an entire video on this. I will leave it linked on the screen. Essentially, I've set up a GoodNotes reading journal using some of my own templates. I've put in some of my anticipated releases, my current physical TBR, and then I've got January all set up and ready to go. So I'll be putting all of my video covers in. I put in all the books that I read for the month. I've also got some reading challenges that I'm completing this year, some books that I want to remember for when I do Christmas videos, and then I'm going to do memes. And I think the rest of it is just templates. So I've got a couple of extra dividers and a couple of extra templates that I may choose to use. I use this digital journal every day. I put in the books that I read. I usually put in quotes that I like from the book, and then I get them printed and bound at the end of the year. So I've almost finished my 2022 one, which I will have printed, and then I'll probably do a flip through of that for people if they're interested. Then we have my content planners, which you guys have heard me talk about before. I've even shown some of them. The pink one is my Novelty Corner planner, which essentially I cover in stickers whenever I get them. I've used post-it notes, and these are just some ideas for vlogs. This one is an 18-month calendar, so I started it in October, I believe. Oh no, I used it in September. That must have been when I picked it up. Sometimes I decorate it, sometimes I don't. I haven't finished filling in November, but I may never do that. I have finished filling in December, and I have January planned out. I totally stole this method of using post-it notes from Heather from Here Booktubes. I just find it easy to move things around. So nothing is set in stone until I have actually filmed and edited the video. Then I take out the post-it note, I write in the video on the date that it got posted. So you guys are getting a sneak peek of what's coming up in January. And I sort of try and start filling things in a month in advance or a little bit earlier. Like I know when all my books beside my bed videos are coming. I've got Rare this weekend, so I know that there's going to be a Rare vlog and haul. And then I'll probably late in January, I'll come and start filling in May. So this is a good opportunity if you have ideas for things you'd like to see on my channel to let me know what you'd like to see. Similarly, this content planner is for my Little Bookish Teacher kids review channel. So this is where I'm reading all the kids books. This one is only a 12-month planner, so it starts in January. I have my ideas. This channel is going to be a little bit more haphazard. There's going to be one video every week. And then if I get specific review copies for specific dates, I'm also going to add them in as extra videos. So this one is a little less planned because I find it's a little less formal for me anyway. Next up is my Haiku a day planner. So again, as I said, this is a challenge issued by Auslit teacher, who I'll leave linked down below, where she challenged herself in 2022 to write a haiku every day. So 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, so 3 lines. And I thought that was great. And she's doing it again in 2023, and she challenged everyone else to do that. So this is just like a standard planner. There's a lot of note pages. You have a monthly calendar, and then you just have a week on 2 pages. So I thought this would be perfect. I like a pretty planner. I don't feel compelled to write neatly, but I like having something pretty to look at. And I like the fact that it's got tabs, so it's easy to flip through for everything. And as Rhys was saying, you know, this will be a nice thing to look back on at the end of the year, having 3 lines for every day. I'm terrible at keeping a journal, but I think this is achievable, and I love writing haikus and poetry. Okay, so this is that little 2023 notepad. It's essentially, you just rip off a page every week, but I thought this would be good to have on the table because I can use it for things like really quick checklists. I can put shopping lists, I can put reminders on here, and then at the end of the week I'll just pull it off. And I can still forward plan on it, but I don't have to be precious about it. I like the design, I like the gold foiling, and I thought it was pretty. And then we come to my work planner. So it's currently sitting in this little Star Wars themed foam holder, and that's because I needed something to hold my stickers and some pens, just because I want to have stickers on handy because I will be working with kids, and the planner sits behind it. So as I said, I have got a Hobonichi Techo 2023 cousin. This is the English version, and I really liked this cover, which is not technically for the cousin, but I thought it was so pretty, and it's very me, so I had to get it. It's like a traveler's notebook cover. And so far I haven't done huge amounts to this. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time decorating it, but I had these stickers and I thought they were cute and fun. And yeah, so most people will be familiar with the Hobonichi planners. I am planning on using sort of this yearly overview to do some trackers. So in January, I'm going to start tracking walking and Pilates and any time I do work in the month of January, mostly because I'm on holidays. And then this post-it note here is just the other things I want to track through the rest of the year, which is actually mostly meetings, because I want to see how much time is spent on those things. Plus I am going to, because I don't have another planner, I'm going to still try and track walking and Pilates in here, just because they're both significant to my mental health and given work and all of those sorts of things, I thought they'd fit. While this is primarily a work planner, other things might end up in here, and I'll throw in little bits of decoration where I need to. So essentially I've put in birthdays and important dates like start and end of term and all of that sort of thing. The weekly spreads I am planning on just using as a daily timetable, because my timetable is not going to be set specifically, but I want to keep track of some of the things that are actually happening over time. The daily pages I'm actually going to use for any notes that happen on the day, because my role now involves working with students, particularly around behaviour and supporting families and whatnot. I figured having the daily spreads would be really great for note taking, just so I remember what happened on each day. So that's how I'm planning on using that. And I figured that would give me heaps and heaps of space while still allowing me to put in significant events and whatnot in a weekly layout, but also having room for all of those notes. So in my head, in theory, it works. We'll see how it goes, but I am really happy with the planner, and particularly the cover. It makes me feel very happy, and just to know that I've got something safe to carry it around in with stickers and whatnot. So those are the things I'm planning on using next year. Okay, so that is my planner lineup for 2023. In the comments, I'd love to know, what are you using for planning? If you use anything, maybe you don't have to. But if you do and you'd like to discuss it, feel free to leave it down below. Or if you have your own video like this and you want to share it with people, feel free to leave it linked down below. I'd love for people to be able to come and find these sorts of videos. If you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave any kind of writing implement emoji like a pen or a pencil or something like that. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.